Okay. On the cameras, it's about 1 minute in. I don't have to worry about you speaking up because that's what you do anyway. So, you ready to get started?
Yeah, when I look at you,
I just did that so I could change the background right there. All right. This is a pilot episode. F. Allen, Billy Cason, simple conversation. Clap for sound. And we're off. Hello, everybody. This is F. Allen, and you already know who. You don't know who I am because I'm just kind of making my mark now. But you do know who my guest is. My guest is Mr. Billy Cason, and he's joined me for a small conversation today, so we can share some things about this man who's done a lot of things in Detroit for a very long time. And let's just, we're going to have a simple conversation and get to know the man because a lot of people think he's not even human. So we're going to probably touch the human side of Billy Cason today because there's a lot of legendary things that he's done, and let's just tap into it. So with no further ado, let's welcome Mr. Billy Cason. How you doing, Billy?
hey man, you all right?
I'm good, man.
You're looking good.
Yeah, and so are you. We're looking good. If I had your hand, I'd throw mine away, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that what they
I don't
say?
know about all that. You better hold on to yours.
But I'll hold on to mine. We'll hold each other's.
Yeah.
All right, so you're doing a lot of things now, as you've done for, hell, I don't know how long. Just as a disclosure, I've been knowing Billy since I was 17 years old, and that's back when the air was yellow. So, we've been knowing each other a very long time. So, Billy, before we get into things about you, what do you have coming up? Tell everybody what you've got coming up.
Okay, we got the big Easter hair and fashion show at Burt's. Now, I was in retirement, but they worried me to death. Cason, you got to give another show. We got to give another show. So finally we came up with something. We got the big hair extravaganza Easter hair and fashion show at Burt's, April the 9th. It starts, doors open at 5 o'clock, and it's going to be the greatest show on earth. I put this show together. I ain't going to say it's my last. I don't want to say that. But it's a great possibility it might be my last.
Well, everything's always possible, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
So we would like for y'all to get your tickets, come out, and enjoy a good show. Because I haven't gave one in 10 years. So you know what this is going to be about. You know about a Billy Cason hair show. I've been giving them for about almost 30 years now. So I would love for all my hair designers, my barbers, my nail techs, and the public. I would like for y'all to come out and check out my Easter hair show. Charles Hicks is my partner in this show too. So please, don't let me down. I want to see your face in the place, sharp as hell. That's Easter Sunday, April the 9th at Burt's. Doors open at 5 p.m. And we're going to have an after party after the show.
All right. So those are things that's happening right now. And you just said something that was kind of interesting. Has it been 10 years since you did your last show?
10 years since I did my last show. Yeah, I mean, time go by so fast. It don't seem like it's been that long, but it's been 10 years since I had a hair show.
Especially when you're having fun. So it must go really fast.
Yeah. Definitely.
So life is like that if you're having fun. So
yeah, life.
If you live a good life, you're going to live a fast life.
That is right. It's 100% right.
If you're living life bad, it's going to be long as hell,
brother.
So slavery could have felt like it was 10,000 years because that was really bad and probably really long.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I wanted to kind of dig back to some things, and when you agreed to come on here and speak with me. This is not pre-recorded, not pre-scripted. He has no idea or I'm going to lead the conversation, and I have no idea where he'll take the conversation. So I'm going to throw something out here at you that I'm sure that I know, but very, very few people know. And that is, I want you to tell me about dollar style.
Okay. No. Okay, well, a lot of people don't know. I used to be a barber. So things got kind of tight, the business was kind of slow. So I was sitting around thinking of how to make some more money. So I come up with an idea, dollar style. And you call me, and I come to your house, and I cut your hair or do your hair at your house. And it worked out pretty good. But, when you go into people's houses, you don't know what to expect. So you have to, kind of be cautious. The one guy, I went to his house, and he was up about 10 flights of stairs. And then when I got up the stairs, I knocked on the door. He opened the door, and he was in a wheelchair. And I swear this man scared me half to death because his hair, he looked like, Methuselah. Methuselah had hair down. I mean, this guy.
You talking about Medusa?
Huh?
Medusa with the snake hair?
No, he had Methuselah.
Oh, Methuselah. Okay.
Methuselah. Methuselah got hair. I mean, almost down to his beard was almost down to his waist. And then I opened the door. I jumped back. It scared me half to death. I didn't know. And I said, "Now, Lord, for the first thing I said, I'm gonna have to charge you triple, man." I said, "Cause all this hair you got." I said, "How this happen?" He said, "Well, I give my little cousin them the money. They take me." He said, "But I'm in a wheelchair. They won't take me downstairs. They just take my money and they run off. And they've been doing this for years. I can see it." So I cut his hair. But I charged him at that time, I think a haircut was about $15. I charged him about $70, if I'm not mistaken, to cut his hair. And I cut him bald, everything. The hair
No
down.
fade, no nothing, huh?
Yeah, my clippers was crying like hell.
So for a lot of people who don't know, Billy Cason is very heavy in the hair design industry. As a matter of fact, the term hair designer was made popularized by Billy. He has produced hair magazines that have been sold and transported all over the world. Germany, I mean, just all corners of the earth, Africa, and he's done it consistently for decades at this point. In fact, I got my start in the industry because of this man. So there's no, and there's a lot of stories between the age of 17 and, my ripe young age now that we could talk about. Lots of growing, lots of development, but through it all, as true friends that we've become, we've made it through. But a lot of stylists never really knew that Billy actually was not just in the hair industry because he sold ads in his hair magazines, but he himself was a hairstylist. And I always thought that was interesting,
Yeah, I did have been involved in doing hair. I did hair for about 20 years.
You still got your license too, right?
Still got my barber and my beautician license because you can't never tell. I mean, I hope I don't have to get back in, but you can't never tell.
I don't know. Like, if you want to take an appointment, if you guys want to get a hairstyle done by the legendary Billy Cason, you never know.
I don't think you want me in your head.
I mean, but, maybe as a challenge. Maybe it could be the Billy Cason challenge.
Yeah, but
we're going to offer the Billy Cason challenge for anybody that wants to get their hair done by a licensed hairstylist. And we can't say that about a lot of y'all. He's actually licensed, so.
Now, don't call me. Don't call me. I don't want to be in your head. Don't call me. But I still got my license.
Yeah, so you can do it.
I can do hair. Yeah. I can if it's, my life depending on it. I can still turn
And
them
I've actually
curlers.
seen you cut hair before. You remember back when Katrina happened and we had all the stylists come out and do the hair for the not refugees, but for the displaced
you
people.
remember that?
I organized it.
Yeah,
right? So
okay.
one of the highlights of my life.
Yeah, you actually seen me cut some hair then. Right,
Yeah.
right. I remember
the
that.
news came out
I
and-
remember that. I
Yeah.
remember that. And them guys had some rough hair, man. I put them oysters up in there, and them oysters was whining and smoking. And I said, "Damn, what did they got in their head?"
You should.
Yeah, but you actually seen me cut some hair. Yeah, right. You're right. But I've been in this field, I don't know, about 40, 50 years. I've been involved in the hair design industry. And I have made all of the famous hair designers that's out of Detroit, I made them famous throughout the world. You're talking Cool C, Big Roy, all of them. Big Roy, John Gooden, every one of them you
See,
can
once you
think
start
of.
naming names, you know all of them are going to want to be named now.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm
feel
saying.
free.
I just have to,
Right. So
a few of them that people still know.
So do this. If you're watching this and you're one of the hairstylists that Billy has made famous by way of his magazine or hair shows or just being in his circle, go ahead and put your name in the chat because there's way too many of us.
Right, Yodi.
Me included. It's way too many of us.
Put your name there because you know who you are.
Yeah.
I can't name all of you right now, but you know who you are.
Yeah. I mean, I myself have.
And the ones that's still in Detroit, I want you guys at the hair show.
And even the ones that's in Atlanta, LA, where is that? Las Vegas, Phoenix, Arizona. You guys come on out too.
Houston. Right. Houston,
Florida, yeah. Atlanta.
Because you know who you are. You know who you are. You know the ones that I've made famous all over the world. Africa. Little African girl, Cason, I come to America. I said, okay, baby. She said, oh, will you send for? I said, well, look, send me a picture. Mm-hmm. Now, if you look like Armand, you on the next plane. But if you look like Bula Bula, I don't know whether I can do anything. You know, not trying to be offensive or anything. But the Hair Design Magazine, Alaska, Russia, all over the world.
Nigeria.
Oh, ain't no question about Nigeria. Nigeria.
Yeah,
definitely Nigeria. A lot of African countries, but I was surprised. I was surprised at Russia when I got some. Oh, and it was famous in the penitentiary. The Hair Designer magazine was famous in the penitentiary. Now you say, why was it famous in the penitentiary? Well, you know, the guys like to look at the ladies I had in there. In fact, one lady, one of my stylists, got so many calls, she didn't want to even get in the book no more. You know, man, I got a lot of stories to tell, but we're not going to spend the time talking about those.
Okay. So, yeah, we can go ahead and turn the page a little bit. Now, you've been in this hair industry and around it and about it and through it for my entire life, for my entire adult life. And, you know, you're at a nice seasoned age right now, so you are a seasoned professional in this industry. And what I would like for you to do, because you stand on a lot of principles, and I just want to know, because I don't even know the answer to this question, what is the strongest principle that you stand on?
Okay, let me understand principles. What you know, I'm old school now.
Hey,
what
you know, like your motto in life, like what you live by. What's your personal trait?
One of my mottos in life that I live by is when you say something, do it. Now, at the time you say it, it might be beneficial to you. But if it's time, goes by and it's not beneficial to you anymore, you still got to stick to your word. Your word is your bond. That's the only problem I have with a lot of people nowadays. The word don't mean nothing. Your word is your bond. If you give your word, I don't care if you got to die for it. Die for your word. Your word is is you. If you don't keep your word, you're not going to be successful in anything. Your word. Keep your word. That's one of my principles that I live and I die by. If I tell you I'm going to love you, grab me and hug me. I've never had the opportunity to tell you, but if I tell you I'm going to kill you, call Undertaker. That's the way I roll. I'm no nonsense. And try to base your life like that. No nonsense. Take care of your business, and you will be a success.
So, you have, not only does he live by those type of principles, but he's actually, Billy's actually taught me a few principles that I actually live by too. And you touched on living on your word. One thing I can say about you in real time is that, and you won't remember this because this was back when I was 21 or so, but I remember one day when you was hiring me to do the hair books and take the pictures and all that stuff, and you scheduled a photo shoot for me, and I wasn't aware that it was scheduled. So the day came, and I'm a young guy, and the call comes in, how come you're not here? Where you at, Alan, and stuff like that. And I was like, nobody told me I had an appointment. So I'm all irritated. I'm young. I'm just coming off my teenage years, and I call you up a little hot. And I'm like, Billy, you got an appointment for me. Nobody told me about it. And before I could even finish the statement, you cut me off, and you said, don't worry, I'll take care of it. And from what I learned from that was, it was easy to work with you, work for you, work up under you, because I respected the fact that you would never ask somebody to do something that you weren't willing to do yourself. And I don't even know if you knew that. That's why you got a lot of longevity out of me, because I remember hanging up the phone that day and saying, he's willing, without any question, say he's willing to do things. He's not asking me to do things that he's not willing to do. So everything that I've done for you at your request were things I did it happily because I knew that you would do it yourself. And that's what made me, actually do it, wholeheartedly when I do it.
Well, it's funny you said that because I never knew that. But what happened, I had a young lady that used to do photography with me. You probably know her, Tony Baggett. You remember Tony?
The makeup artist.
So when I got out of the Army, I was into a little photography myself, but I never, pursued it. But I had an appointment set up with Tony Baggett to do a photo shoot for hair shots and stuff like that. And she stood me up. So I went and got my camera and all that camera back up, and I went and did the photo shoot myself.
Oh yeah, Tony Baggett. I was thinking about Gwen, the makeup artist, but you meant Tony Baggett, the hairdresser.
No, the one that the photographer.
The photographer. That's what I meant. Yeah.
And that's when I started back into photography. And Alan can tell you, once I started back, I was into it because he was working at what was it, CPI?
Yeah, photo lab, a 1 hour photo lab.
And I started back, and I started doing that. And when he mentioned that, don't ask people to do anything that you won't do yourself, that brought that back. So that's when I started back shooting pictures, and I went all the way to getting my own studio. So don't ask people to do things that you won't do yourself.
If you're interested in being a leader.
Right. So sometimes you gotta pick up the gun yourself. You know what I'm saying? Go take care of your own business. So, you got to keep that in mind. To be a success out here in this world, you got to be able to do whatever you got to do. I'll tell you that right now.
Right. And and you lived a good life based on those principles and everything else. So what are some of the things that you enjoy during these seasoned years of your life?
Say that again.
What are some of the things you're doing now that you enjoy besides the hair stuff? Like, I know you spend a lot of time watching Cop Watchers and the news and stuff like that.
I'm a kickboxing instructor. I enjoy fighting. I specialize in self-defense. I've been kickboxing now for 6 or 7 years.
What was that tagline on those advertisements you used to have?
I don't know. You remember?
Yeah, I do. It was learn to lose weight and kick ass. That's he's the.
Oh man, I done had so many of them. But you have to take care of yourself. You can't wait until you get old to start trying to take care of yourself. Start taking care of yourself while you're young. You want to eat right, think right, sleep right, and fight right. So you got to take care of yourself, because when you wait till you get old and stuff, it's too late.
And this is coming from a man that has 4 scores to his life. I'm going to slide that in there so he don't smack me over the head. He might have to think a minute about what that means. But he's got 4 scores. This man has more than 4 scores to his credit. So,
And feel good. And if you can see, look good. But you got to put your time in. It ain't going to just happen to you. There are people who are very fortunate to have good genes, and they can maintain and stuff like that, but sometimes their health don't be up to date. You got to keep yourself up to date. You got to eat right, drink a lot of water, and get as much sleep as you can. But remember, that water is very, very important, and I'm speaking from experience.
Yeah, he's drank a lot of water in his day.
Yeah, every time I come down, I ask Alan, you got some water, man? Yeah, that's right. He'll tell you, I got one right here. So right here.
Yep.
Yeah, but keep me some water.
Right. So there's lots of things we can talk about, but the main thing you came today is, we want to kind of push the hair show. We want to make sure that you come out and see it. What date was that again?
That's April the 9th. We're at Birch Warehouse, and the hair show starts at 5 o'clock. It's the Easter Hair Extravaganza. So now I also sell billboards. If you're interested in putting your message in the sky, where hundreds of thousands of people will see it, make sure you give me a call. That's 313-350-7171. I will repeat it one more time. 313-350-7171. Now use that same number if you need tickets for the hair show, VIP tables, anything like that. Give me a call and we will make sure that you are taken care of. But don't miss this Easter hair show, please.
So it's going to be my pleasure to have Billy coming back as a regular guest. This is our pilot episode. I really want some feedback on what you guys think about it. There's lots of things we could talk about over a lot of different principles, ideas, and things like that. Billy has stayed caught up on the news, so we can talk about current events and stuff like that. And I'd love for you to come back often. You know,
that's no problem. I have enjoyed myself. This has been fantabulous. I love it.
But before we go, maybe there's one more question I can throw at you real quick, right? In your lifetime, is there anything that stands out that has maybe hurt your feelings? One, and two, is there anything about you that very few people know that you're willing to share with the audience now?
Now say the first one again.
Sure, because I'll let you choose either one. Have you ever had your heart broken? Not necessarily by a woman or anything, but just by situations. And you don't have to go into that if you don't want to, because I know sometimes those things could be very personal. But have you ever had your heart broken? One, and dang, I forgot the second one already.
Well, I'll answer the first one. My heart was broken when my mother passed. You can probably still hear it in my voice. Mm-hmm. My heart was broken because I never had a father. Never seen it. If you ask me my father's name today, I couldn't tell you. I've never seen it. But my mother took care of me, and she raised me with good principles. And
now you know what principles are. Go ahead.
That's valid. And without my mother, wouldn't be no me. And I have one other individual that I like to give credit to. If it wasn't for my daughter, Sonia Cason, wouldn't be no Billy Cason.
So you got love from the alpha to the omega all around you that makes you. The ones before you make you, and the ones that come after you contribute to what you are. That's. And
just one more thing I have to say. If it wasn't for Detroit, the hair designers, nail designers, and the hair industrial people here in Detroit, but Detroit, if it wasn't a lot of people knock Detroit, but I love Detroit. If it wasn't for Detroit, wouldn't be no Billy Cason, because you guys have gave me love, showed me love, and made me famous all over the world. And I love you, and I appreciate you for that.
We got that. I couldn't think of doing a better pilot episode than I'm doing right now with Mr. Billy Cason. He's a man of the industry, that he participates in. He's created this industry even for people like me. Like, if it wasn't for what he created, and I hate stretching this out, but maybe we'll save it for another time. But I want you to come back and talk about how you actually got the Hair Designer magazine started. But let's not talk about it now. I want you to come back and we'll specifically talk about that, and we'll make that as a teaser. So he'll be back. And check out all the Hair Designer magazines. You can still get some in some of the stores, or you can actually go on hairdesignermagazine.com and order some of the previous ones. How many issues did you do?
I'm not gonna lie. It's been quite a few. I can't think of the number.
Decades.
But I started out in 1983.
Okay.
So it's been quite a few, and we still got a few that maybe you can even order.
Some spin-off magazines and everything else,
but
right?
We also had a hair product called Miss Silky Smooth Hair Product, so we still got a few of those too.
Okay. So we'll bring him back and we'll talk to him about how he actually got that started, because it's created, it's generated its own little small mini economy that fed a lot of families, including mine, and enabled me to hire people and scores of other people. Some I know, some I don't. And it's all because of what he's done from scratch. He's done it from scratch. So that's an interesting story to tell. I don't want to tell it now, though. I just want this to be a pilot episode. I want you guys in the audience to, give some feedback. Do you want to see more of these? who would you like to come and have a conversation with me? As we get going even more and more, I'll let my hair down a little bit more, and you'll probably get to know more of a rawer me than, even right now. But for right now, we keep our hair up and, let's kind of tiptoe into this podcasting world. So, Billy, thanks for joining us. We'll see him again soon. I really want him to be a regular because he has a lot of life experience that he can contribute to our world in a very entertaining way.
And don't forget, April the 9th, that's Easter Sunday. After you finish your Easter dinner, dress up in your sharpest outfits, because I'm going to be sharp. I'm going to be so sharp, I got to walk sideways to keep from cutting you, baby. I already got my pink outfit. So get your outfit on and come on down to the Easter Hair Show at Burt's. That's April the 9th. Telephone number 313-350-7171. See you there.
All right. And this is F. Allen for the Unnamed Podcast. As of yet, I'll think about it, and we'll see you next time. That's a wrap, Billy. That's it.
That was good.